First, I want to introduce the elders team to you first before I give the announcement that I have in front of me. Walter Scott, Rose McQueen, and Jeff Grunwald. Damon Davis is actually down at Lakeside downtown, and he's by now already read this announcement that I'm about to give to you. I also want to mention that there'll be copies of this announcement for those that would like to have one at the info booth afterwards. On behalf of the elders and Dave Ralph, I'm bringing you a very important announcement this morning, as I mentioned. Since our founding in 1989, Lakeside has been a place of spiritual discovery and growth. Your elders team has prayed and fasted. We've talked through and thought about our future quite a bit. With that in mind, the elders and Dave Ralph have concluded that a transition is going to take place with our senior pastor. For the next 3 months, and effective immediately, Dave will focus on a teaching and a pastoral care role. After these 3 months, effective June 30th, 2017, Dave will transition out of Lakeside. During this period, it is our intention to celebrate what God has done over the years since Dave and his family arrived in 1999. I remember that day well. The next 3 months will give an opportunity for all of us at Lakeside to reach out to Dave to acknowledge and celebrate his many accomplishments and service to the Lakeside community over the last 18 years. Thank you, Dave. Yeah. Under Dave's leadership, Lakeside has grown tremendously, and many hundreds of people have found genuine life change through faith in Jesus Christ. We're very grateful to God. And Dave, as you transition, we've talked about this, Lakeside is more than your place of work and ministry. And as circumstances permit, you're welcome to continue worshiping here. Lakesiders, we do have a bright future together. You've heard about some of that this morning. We have a church full of gifted volunteers, a dedicated staff, flourishing ministries, and a sense that immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine is ahead. We would also like you to know that the elders have appointed Jeff Grunwald as Lakeside's interim senior leader. Many of you know Jeff is one of our longtime worship leaders. He's also the chair of our elders team. Jeff has 30 years of leadership experience in Christian ministry and is very qualified to assume this new role. He's also very passionate about Lakeside. After the decision was made about Dave Ralph's transition, the elders team approached Jeff and asked him if he would serve in this capacity, and we're grateful for his willingness to do so. Effective immediately, Jeff will be responsible for all Lakeside's ministries and the staff organizations that support them. We know that you may have questions, and your questions are important to us. After today's service, the members of our elders team and Dave will be available to speak with you. Some of us will be at the back of the auditorium here for a while, and then the rest of us will be out in the atrium. Following today, as you process and continue to process this change, you may also communicate with the elders by using the email address elders@lakesidechurch.ca. That's elders@lakesidechurch.ca. Thank you for your attention, and thank you in advance for your continued support of Lakeside. May God bless the Lakeside community and others through us. And now Dave will bring some closing remarks.
So some of you may be sitting here today going, why in the world did you give this vision for Lakeside for the future when you were leaving? Well, it's because I believe this is the right vision for Lakeside. It is. It's not about a person. Lakeside has never been about a single person. Lakeside is about a mission. It is about a vision. And as a pastor, you know that you're a baton passer. Somebody passes the baton to you and you run it at different lengths, and at the end you pass it to someone else. It's just the way it goes. It's just the way it goes. And this vision that I've given today, these people behind me and the staff management team are white hot committed to this vision. It's not going to change. If you think, oh boy, Dave's going to go, we're going to change the vision. Absolutely not. They are totally committed, and they are behind it 100%. And I would encourage all of you to get behind it 100% because it's an awesome vision. And I wish I was the one leading you into this vision, but I won't be. But I'm going to be watching and praying. And I know where some of you live. And I encourage you, when it comes to the staff at Lakeside and Jeff, who's going to step into this interim role, and when they find a new leader to lead this church forward, I pray that until that, you give these guys a chance. Don't bail because I'm not here. Please don't bail because I'm not here. That impacts nobody. That doesn't do what we talked about this morning. We are wanting to have an impact, and we need all of you committed to it. You know, I've always said that when the leadership team at Lakeside prayerfully concluded that it was time for a change, for me to hand the baton, that I would accept their decision willingly as long as they cared for my family. And I'm accepting this decision that they have made willingly, and I'm telling you they have cared for my family. And so I've said this many, many times, and today's the day that this is happening. I'm going to be here 3 more months. I am going to teach my heart out for the next 3 months. I'm going to have lots more time because, you know, Jeff's taken a lot of what I do onto his shoulders. I'm going to have so much more time to have coffee and lunch and come and visit and hang out and golf or whatever you want to do. And we are going to have a celebration of all that God has done in the last 18 years at Lakeside. We're not celebrating what I've done. I've just been a builder. I've just been one who took his instructions from God. This is his mission and his vision, and the life change that we've seen is his. But we're going to celebrate it. And when I'm not here in 3 months, I'm never going to be negative about Lakeside because I love this church, and I love this vision, and I love these people, all of you. And I'll be your number one cheerleader, no matter what. Am I sad? Sure. Who wouldn't be? Is there some disappointment? Of course there is. Am I angry and bitter at anyone? Absolutely not. The underlying emotion that I'm feeling right now is peace. It's Jeff that should be anxious. I'm feeling peace. And you may have lots of questions. And you can ask the elders, you can ask me. For some of you, this will be a shock this morning, and you're just going to have to go, we got to get over this. And when the shock sort of diminishes, then you'll think of your questions, and you can ask them, email them, whatever. But there's one question I know will be the number one question people are going to ask, so I'm going to answer it now, so I don't have to keep answering it. And I think the number one question you want to know is, what will I do next? And the answer is only God knows. But I believe that God will take me on an adventure and use my gifts and abilities and experiences, talent. Many of those things grew and developed here at Lakeside to use me to do something significant. I have no idea what it is, but God does. And I am trusting him for the future. So get behind this vision. Give it everything you've got and impact this city for Jesus. Let that be my legacy today. God bless. Have a great week.